I've studied consumers for over 40 years, but I've yet to meet a market segment. Have you? Each of us is an individual, and many of us are wildly creative lifestyle artists. We carefully pick and choose our palette from the thousands of brands and styles around us to paint our own unique portrait. Do we share these varied shades with others? Of course. Yet still, each consumer manages to put a distinct spin on the goods and services he or she chooses from this vast array of options. If you're in a consumer-facing business, your success depends on being one of the options people choose to express their identity. Welcome to the wild, wacky world of the postmodern consumer. Today, a consumer's consumption choices are a lot more varied and complicated than they used to be, as seemingly endless options to spend our time and money entice us. It's a fertile environment for consumer chameleons. We love to put our customers into tidy cages and act as if we know them because we put them there. That approach worked well 10 or 20 years ago, when it was feasible to group everyone into a fixed and manageable set of categories. But today's postmodern consumer defies categorization, often deliberately. He or she yearns to be liberated from cubicles, labels, and market segments. In this postmodern view, our world is a pastiche, or mixture of images and ideas. Our consumption choices are most valuable when they question boundaries and force us to venture outside of our little cages. We didn't appreciate it then, but in the good old days, say a few decades ago, marketers had it pretty easy. There were just a handful of TV stations, whether ABC, NBC, CBS, or BBC 1 and 2, for example. Some popular radio stations, and large circulation print magazines like Time, Life, Vogue, or The Spectator, that almost everyone read to learn about the world and about what to buy. Henry Ford famously boasted that his customers could buy one of his cars in any color they liked, so long as it was black. That one-size-fits-all approach made sense in the early days of the Industrial Revolution, when mass production was all about maximizing efficiency and output. At that time, we thought of the world in terms of very broad categories. For years, we've been able to get away with putting our customers into neat market segments based on variables such as age or income. New ideas, new products, and new styles came to life in mass media, so not surprisingly, most people adopted them en masse. Fast forward to today, when we truly live in an era of market fragmentation. And the postmodern consumer blithely travels from one microsegment to another. To see this splintering in action, just visit any decent-sized magazine stand. Count the staggering number of publications that give us a glimpse into obscure lifestyles, ranging from yachting to coding to pumping iron. Yes, market segmentation is still valuable today, and it's still widely employed. However, two crucial issues in our postmodern era render it less valuable than it used to be. First, strategists think in terms of dichotomies. Consumers don't. Marketing strategy is largely about this or that, male or female, introvert or extrovert, light user or heavy user, black or white. These either-or groupings leave no room for shades of gray. Second, technological advances largely eliminate the need to deal with large, homogeneous market segments. Although it might have seemed crazy to think of even 15 to 20 years ago, the fact is that marketers now have the tools at their disposal to literally work with markets of one, You can potentially track their every move online and tailor your messages accordingly. The ability to serve markets of one gets more finely honed every day. These tech advances, as fraught as they are ethically, get better all the time, and artificial intelligence gets smarter every day. Even if you don't use AI to connect with your customers, you can still make big strides toward treating each person as an individual. Remember, past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. In a world where we change our personalities and tastes faster than a chameleon changes color, that means that we have to question some of the basic categories we use to describe our customers. In particular, we need to move beyond some tired, overly simplistic dichotomies we have comfortably relied upon for many years. We're often encouraged to think outside the box. Many of us have heard that so many times. We're tired of listening. But when you recognize that your customers now live in a postmodern world, that tried, true, and maybe trite saying actually makes a lot of sense. So go out there and look beyond those little boxes if you want to connect with today's consumer chameleons.